So what lesson, because you know we got the NIL deals, right?
Yeah.
You got a lot of kids now with social media.
Mm-hmm.
So what lesson did you take from that the kids need to learn about? You know what I'm saying? Is it kind of like Mike Jones? Back then they didn't want me. Now
Yeah.
I'm hot, they all on
Yeah.
me. So what lesson could you give the kids now that may be at that stars status?
Man, just never sell yourself short. You know what I'm saying? Just know that people gonna use you for what they can use you for. 1 minute you just, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Then when they can't use you no more, sometimes it get there. But I've seen and dealt with a lot of kids that have some strong support, and then I've dealt with some kids that don't have that support.
Yeah.
So I'm big on that. But again, like I was saying, once I found out what fake love was,
Yeah.
it just kind of changed my whole demeanor. Because I was the type of guy that I wanted to please everybody.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? My mom, I had 4 brothers from my mom's first marriage. A couple brothers got in trouble, and I just got tired of seeing my mom like my mom fed up. You know what I'm saying? And I was always promised. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna be my mom. I told her, I said, I'm not gonna be the one that put you through nothing like that.
Yeah.
So my whole life, it was just straight error. Like after I got back into public schools, I was scared to even get into a fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like, it meant that much to me. I just hated to see her suffer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, once I found out how things work and stuff like that, it kind of, I got to college, and I got there through the grace of God. Thankful for him getting me there. So once I got to college, remind you, I'm the AAA State Player of the Year.
Yeah.
And this was back when it was just single A with 2 divisions, double A with 2 divisions, 3. So it was like you really had to be, that deal. So when I get to Virginia Tech, and my dad used to say a saying that I tell kids all the time: "You're a big fish." You know what I'm saying? But now you're still a big fish, but pond just got bigger.
Yeah.
And so once I realized what that was, because like the first couple of years in college, man, I was, I came out with a strong showing. I was, we had a scrimmage, and this was when, Virginia Tech had that monster defense. Like my first year with Cornell Brown and all those guys like that. They had a monster defense, man, and I had a heck of a summer. Like I went out there, worked. We had a couple of injuries at the running back because I got recruited as a DB.
Yeah.
So I had worked my way up on the DB side.
Uh-huh.
I had worked my way up, and then coach came to me and was just like, if any other position besides corner, what would you want to play? I said, running back, receiver. Yeah. He said, running back? I said, Coach, I'm going to tell you like this. I just want to get on the field. He shook his head, pat me on the shoulder. All right, the next day, I'm in the running backs room.
Yeah.
So I go out there, we scrimmaging, I'm on the second, third team, so we going against the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I scored a couple touchdowns, and they was, and then the last scrimmage of the season, before we get into regular season, I sprained my ankle. So, they red shirted me. And that was a kind of another adjustment right there as far as, because I was always touching the ball every offensive play. And that's what I tell kids today, and I had to tell my son that, like, dog, your biggest thing is being able to not touch the ball every play.
Yeah.
And being able to just be able to adjust and do a different job or what's asked of you. That's going to be your biggest issue. So that was one of my issues, just like, man, I'm touching it every play in high school. And now I'm barely getting any love. So, but, that was something that, I kind of looked back at as a strong point, and kind of turned things around for me.
Yeah. So how does a kid adjust? Because I know kids like Trey Loing and a lot of guys from around this area and in the Lynchburg area that, you go from starting 3 to 4 years max, like my son, and, you're starting, and John, John Penix and these guys. How is that transition when you go to freshman and you may not play as much? Like, how is that transition going from the man to now I gotta put that work in?
That's where mental toughness come in at. And that's one thing what I do in my training, I preach in my training, everything ain't gonna be right, it ain't gonna be what you want it to be. A lot of times these coaches gonna try you just to see how far they can push you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, any coach, they want somebody that's going to be able to fight through it, be mentally tough, get through it. I tell people it's 80-20, 80% mental, 20% physical. They want somebody that they're going to push you to the limit to see if they can rely on you in the end. So, one thing that I would tell like a freshman or something coming in that's been a star in their life is just be patient and keep doing the same thing you were doing, but do it on a higher level.
Gotcha.
Because like I said, it's a whole new ball game. Instead of 200 girls, 300 girls, you got 20,000 girls.
Yeah.
Which is a distraction.
Yeah.
And then you got school. Then you got a rigorous practice schedule where it's nothing like you ever been before. Everything scheduled. You run in here. You can't be late to this. You can't be late to that. You film study. It's just a whole lot of time that you got to put in. So time management is something that I would tell kids, like, get used to being on time to everything. You know what I'm saying? Being on, like, if you 5 minutes early, you late. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that type of thing.
Right.
And like I said, the biggest thing is just going in there confident in who you are and why you here. It's a reason why you there. So you're going to have pitfalls. You're going to have those things where you're questioning your athletic ability. You're questioning, do you want to be here? You're missing mom's cooking. You're missing, so it's a lot of things that go into it where you have to sit back and be like, listen, man, I'm here for a reason. They picked me for a reason. It might not be right here, but I'm going to keep working because they're going to see and they're going to know that they made a good choice on me. And that was kind of my story. Like, once I got redshirted, it was just more so like, all right, I ain't playing this year, so I'm just going to kind of bull jive my way through. Man, I had blew up to 217 pounds, still the same height, never had been that weight before, just felt sluggish, and felt, just kind of like I was on the team. Mm-hmm. And, my coach, Billy Height, I never forget it. He came to me and he was just like, is this what you really want to do with your career? I mean, no, you're not playing right now, but we look at everything, So what I did was I thought about that thing, so I just started being a scout team hero.
Yeah.
They had me when we played different teams. I'm like, let me be the man. I was Donovan McNabb one year because they knew that's when Syracuse ran the option and all that stuff. So I'm out there with my 5 jerseys, spatted cleats. I'm playing the whole role, So I just started giving defenses good looks and stuff like that. That summer I came back, reconstructed my body. I got back down to like 178, 180, which was my playing weight. All my times went through the roof. My weightlifting stuff went through the roof. And, I got on special teams because we had some great backs. Ken Oxendine, Lamont Pegee, Sharon Stiff. I mean, we had Marcus Parker. We had some great backs. Brian Edmonds, God bless the dead, Poons. He pulled me in under his wing. And, he told me what it was about to be a college football player, man. And the whole time it's just like you out there and everything. And I started taking things serious. I started winning special teams player of the week every week. I'm talking about, I didn't care who we was playing. I was just, I'm going to get on this field one way or the other.
Yeah, you're going to do something. Yeah,
and then finally my shot came. And then, once my shot came, I led the Big East in yards per carry one year. I had the squat record at Tech. Well, I had the Big East record, I had the Big East. I had led the Big East in yards per carry. I had a Virginia Tech record for yards per carry that stood 20 years. It got broke the same year my son broke all my records at Glass. So, I made my mark. I made my mark on there, and, I was feeling good about myself, feeling good about my opportunities and things of that nature. So, once once all that stuff went in, I had, like I said, I had the squat record at Tech for a little while. So I flipped the switch.
Yeah.
And then, those are the way, things started to develop for me. And, I just went in. And then it just gets to, once you get as a senior, and, it's almost your last hoorah, and then things started to change a little bit.